Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another trip around the whatever. I am TJ Whitehead, Powers Taking on Given, joined as always by John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics. How are you doing today, my friend?
TJ, if we ever get to the point where it makes sense for me to create and maintain a Patreon for us, we need to let the highest Patreon tier members come into the room behind the scenes before the show starts so they get the little jokes we make throughout the rest of the show that crack us up but serve absolutely nobody else watching. So thank you to the left wing, me and TJ's powwow where people hang out with us and listen to us talk in
That's
order to stroke
true.
our egos. We need it nowadays, TJ. We really need it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else are we gonna do, man? Like, this is honestly, we all tell ourselves that, at least I'm sure we all do, that our excursions into social media and political commentary is to do something for the greater good, to serve the purposes of making the world a better place than when we found it. But really, it's an exercise in stroking our ego. That's really what it is. When it really boils down to it, that if you didn't get the ego boost, you wouldn't do it. You can talk about all your altruism all you want, but it's for serving number one.
Yeah, no, and there are certainly, don't get me wrong, there are certainly people out there. Like I would say Hank Green and John Green, they have really built an incredible thing that definitely provides so much value to the world. And I would argue that they probably, obviously it's an ego boost to them, but they probably do it for the right reasons. Any of us that are just here posting shit online, it's an ego boost. Don't let them tell you otherwise. I've convinced myself in the past that, oh, I'm doing this for altruistic reasons. I want to make a difference. And at some level, I do. But the real reason is I like hearing myself talk. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't just sit in front of a computer and have millions of people listen to me. Not on this show, obviously. We'll get there. Don't worry.
We'll get
Make
there.
sure to like and subscribe. But, I don't know what I would do. It's my therapy. It's how I get through this. And in fact, when I view it as my personal therapy, I find that I make more content and better compelling content, as opposed to when I'm actively trying to make the world a better place. I end up not making the world as good as I would otherwise, because that's a real shit goal to have if you're someone who's motivated by accomplishing goals.
Yeah, I think you're being far too generous to Hank and John Green. Like, they could do like their research and their science shit all day long. No one forces them to get in front of a camera, right? That's
Well, that's
definitely.
they definitely. I was just thinking of a creator who is mainly a creator, which is what Hank Green is. That does actually make a significant impact on improving the human race through their content. But you're right. Most of the time, they are also just stroking their own ego.
Yeah, come on. And there's nothing wrong with that. Human beings have both, altruistic instincts as well as selfish instincts. You need both of them to survive. And, boosting yourself up is important. Your self esteem, it matters quite a bit. So I wanted to see. Oh, another thing you mentioned, that the stuff that you do when it's for the love of the game is the best stuff. God damn, is that true, John? That is 100% true. That when you're just in it and you don't really care what's going to happen, this is just something that I need to do. This is for me. That's the stuff that's the most raw, the most genuine. I had a guy contact me. He was actually one of my recruits back when I was a recruiter, and I think he just got out of the army, maybe, or he got out of the regular army a couple years ago. Now he's in the National Guard or the Reserve or something like that. And he's always been a lefty. So as long as I've known him, we've been pretty simpatico on our political beliefs and everything. And he asked me, "Hey, what do you do to grow your social media following? Like, how did you get into it? And like, what advice would you give me on trying to get my foot in the water here?" And it's a hard question to answer, because the answer that I have is not one anyone's going to want to hear. And the answer is be yourself, which is a terrible. Everyone hates hearing that. I hated that whenever I would ask for advice on something and people say, "Oh, just be yourself." But with this game, it's 100% true that people have to tell, at least I think, that the best way to grow it is to people to know that you're being authentic, that you're not trying to sell them something. You can do that later. But,
Mhm.
once you're building it, people have to know that it's actually you that they're listening to. And when you bring your passion and your energy to it, it's infectious if you can do it properly.
Yeah, it's 100%. I say this about anything is, and I agree. When I heard that as a kid, I was like, "What kind of dumbass advice? I am like,
Yeah.
how can I be
Yeah.
anyone else?" That's the dumbest advice I ever heard. And maturing is realizing that's the only advice you ever need. Like no matter what you're doing, if you're not being yourself while doing it, and I know that sounds corny as shit, but what I mean by that is if you don't feel authentically like you are wanting to be doing what you're doing, you're going to fail. Like, you need to find some sort of internal motivation to do whatever the hell you're doing, or else you're just doing it for another reason, and you're not going to be great at it. If you're fine not being great, that's fine. I'm not great at this, right? Like, I am not great at this. I've not dedicated myself fully to this, partially because of other reasons. This kind of is myself. I have bills to pay and mouths to feed, and so it's difficult to dedicate myself to this. But I know that if I did, if like I could somehow wave a wand and this was my full-time job, I would be so much better at this than my actual job. It's not even funny because I'm being my fucking self. Thank you for coming to John and TJ's After School Special. This has been a very, very special episode of The Left Wing for teenagers who also feel the way we did as teenagers.
All right, so this is our question and answer segment, supposedly. So let's go through the comments here. Colby says, favorite Tuesday where you don't have to say any goodbyes to your 15-year-old child, dog, and your most anticipated... how do I say that word? How do you say that word, John?
I don't know, but I also don't know what it means, but I can take a guess at what it means.
I think it's like a Japanese term for like a gay couple in anime
like
or
maybe
something.
A gay ship or something.
I think that's what it means.
But,
yeah.
Colby, if I'm picking up what you're putting down there, very heartfelt feelings out to you to pray to whatever God we don't believe in, and know you're going through a rough time. So our hearts are with you.
Rough out there, yeah. Treestop says, if being a leftist boosts your ego, I argue your ego is a benefit for society. Slippery slope, though. Is it, though? Is it a slippery slope? I don't know.
So it's a slippery slope because the logic is circular, right? Like, you can put you can say, if being a Nazi boosts your ego, I'd argue it's like there's no difference there. It's just what it is. Like, I agree being a leftist is generally good for society, and doing things that boost your ego, which further this political cause, is an innately good thing. But the point that we are making is that we don't necessarily do it because it boosts. Like, if I wanted to like actively contribute the most I can to the leftist political movement, it's probably not doing what I do now. It's probably it definitely is joining, organizing locally, and I do that stuff as well. But like that, the impact I have doing that sort of stuff is far larger than what I do here. I mean, I definitely serve a unique purpose that not anyone can serve, and so there is that marginal utility there. But you know, for the most part, that is the best way that anyone can actually further this cause. And if I were being honest with myself, I would obviously be not spending so many hours doing this ego stroking bullshit, and I would be spending more time doing in-person local organizing.
Yeah, well, John, like anything else, real work is kind of boring.
It is.
And
I do enough of it to make a living.
Yeah, real work and actually getting stuff done takes time and energy and effort. There's no glamour involved to it. You don't got people kissing your ass. Yeah, fuck that. I don't got time for any of that shit. Like, if I'm not going to be the big dog, if I'm not going to be on top barking orders or making grandiose speeches, I'm just check out how you guys can handle that. You guys with no talent, you guys can handle that. Don't let someone who's funny and interesting. Oh, it's pronounced Yowie. It's pronounced Yowie. Okay, I would have never guessed that. So thank you for that, Colby. Yep. That's good shit right there.
I'm gonna talk about gay men. There we go.
Okay, all right, perfect.
I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. If that is what it takes to achieve fame and fortune, we can be the political Yowies of the world.
This is venturing into hack territory, John, because this is something that every dumbass comedian, a joke every dumbass comedian has made for decades now. But I'm gonna head down this road. Like, being gay and in a relationship sounds pretty awesome, actually. I mean, it's something that guys always joke about. It's like, oh yeah, it'd be so great to be gay. You can hang out with your best bud all day. You guys have the same interests. You have the same like personality, and that you don't gotta worry about random stuff. Is like, oh, this tray is where the egg cups go. I don't know what an egg cup. I don't know. It's like, so just straight guys or gay guys in a single relationship sounds pretty cool. But so yeah, as much as fun as it would be for John and I to be gay, we're not. No, sorry.
We are unfortunately attracted to the opposite sex.
It's unfortunately so. So speaking of interests that men have you? I just heard about this, I think yesterday, but It involves one Michael Jeffrey Jordan and a video that's been going around about.
I saw that, TJ, and
Here we go.
you
Okay,
have it. You have it
I
to like
have it. I
show.
have it. Yeah,
Okay,
I
you
have
gotta
it.
show it because I can't even describe it appropriately.
Okay, so this is a clip featuring Michael Jordan. I guess I didn't know this, but he's the owner. I don't know how, like, was the owner of a team for NASCAR, and his Daytona 500 driver won the race. I believe that's the setup to this, or
Yeah.
whatever. So the celebration is going on, and in the midst of the celebration, Michael Jordan, I was going to say appears to, there's no appears about it. He starts grabbing. Fuck, here, I'll just show it to you. I'll just show
Yeah,
it. Here
you
we go.
can't describe it.
Here we go. All right. So, all right, here's the video here. And Jordan reaches down and just starts pinching this little boy's butt like multiple times. Oh, wait, I paused it. And then he starts rubbing the back of his leg. And that's it. That's the clip right there. What I've noticed about this is I've seen a lot of clips, a lot of people talking about it, and it goes one of two ways. The first way is, wow, really weird thing Michael Jordan did. That's pretty concerning. I can't believe that this happened. I did. And then the other one, which I've seen just as much, maybe even more, is I'm sure there's some explanation for this. I'm sure there's some reason that this happened that we don't know about. I'm not jumping to conclusions. And it's funny to me because the only reason that second explanation exists is because he's Michael Jordan. And so many people idolize him. So many people grew up thinking, oh, Michael Jordan, he's great. And it's like, well, Michael Jordan can't be a pedophile. He's my sports hero. I would never have a poster of a pedophile on my wall or something like that. What have you seen for it, John?
So I actually admittedly am in that second camp,
That,
but I have very good reasons to be in that camp.
okay.
Not because Michael Jordan is some hero of mine, but like it just doesn't make sense. Like, okay, that was such a weird touch that like it didn't seem personally gratifying. And if it was a touch in the way that, and as someone who has taken a lot of training when it comes to, protecting children from sexual assault in various settings, it usually you see those kinds of behaviors, those like not sexual but sexual grooming touches. You don't just see it one time; you see it multiple times for someone who is comfortable doing that sort of thing in public, and so it just is very odd to me that would be the explanation for this behavior, and there to have been no breadcrumbs. We've never seen this before. Like, it would be odd for that kind of behavior to manifest itself suddenly in a middle-aged billionaire. Like, it would just be odd. However, who fucking knows? Because that's weird shit that normal people do not do. Like, I have no idea what the other explanation could be. So that remains the most likely explanation. It just, I don't know if it takes the field.
Well, I guess to your first point that, there's always breadcrumbs leading to this, but I mean, no one's a confirmed pedophile until they are. But I don't. Then again, okay. Here's how I put it. Here's how I put it: is that if you were that child's parent and you saw that clip, would you let him hang out with Michael Jordan after that ever again? Would you?
Uh, uh, Probably. I can't imagine the opportunities there'd be for him. But if Michael Jordan called up, yo, bring Jimmy around, I'd be like, fuck no, for sure. If like I don't,
Well,
I'd be more wary of it for sure. I'd be maybe having a conversation with Michael,
of course.
before that happens at all. If I were to entertain it, it would be a very weird situation.
Yeah, it's like I said in the Star Wars episode with General Palpatine or the Return of Palpatine, that Michael Jordan needs to give a damn good reason for why he did that. Not a good reason, a damn good reason for why he did that. And John, I just checked. I was looking at the story before the show started, and this is from the New York Post like 4 hours ago. He's yet to address these comments. It's been a full day, at least, maybe 2 days since this happened, and he hasn't addressed it. How? There's no way he doesn't know about this. There's no way his phone isn't blowing up with this, but like, hey, what's up with this clip with you and the kid? I mean, I would be out there immediately. First microphone and first camera I saw explain, oh, here's what happened. I heard people say that he was trying to knock ice or debris off of the kid. But I mean, looking at it, it's like, no, it looks like he's like, I don't know. It's like when you're playing around with a kid or something, you like pinch their cheeks or something. That's what it looks like. It looks like he was like doing that, but with the kid. And then the leg rub, the weird leg rub at the end. The only thing that, yeah, it's like, why is he doing this around hundreds of people? That's the part that's odd. He was like, he doesn't seem to be ashamed of this. He's doing this with front of God and everyone. That is suspect. Like, does he just do this all the time? Does he think this is? It's kind of like
that's what I'm saying, TJ. It takes a level of practice to look like you're unbothered by what you're doing in public in front of people like that. That like it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it looks like he does this all the time, but we've never seen this before. It's very strange. It's not like Michael Jordan is a unpublicized fella, you know, like he's constantly got cameras around.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not as willing to give the benefit of the doubt. I guess it's just I don't know Michael Jordan, no thing about this guy, but it reminds me. It's not quite as bad, I guess. It's not quite as bad as this, but you're too young to remember this, John. But I remember when this happened. That when Michael Jackson, I think it was an Oprah interview that he had, where he talked about inviting kids over to Neverland, his his ranch, and he's like, oh yeah, and I invite the kids over there, 5 or 6 of them at a time, and we party, we have fun, and we all sleep in the same bed afterwards. And people said, what? You sleep in the same bed with children? Goes, yeah. What's the big deal? What's the problem? What's wrong with you guys? And everyone said, yeah, that's weird ass behavior. Michael Jackson should be on some sort of list or whatever. And then a lot of people to this day, they still defend him, saying, well, I'm sure that's just one of the weird idiosyncrasies of MJ. And they're doing the same thing with Michael Jordan. Like, once you reach a certain level, you're gonna have defenders no matter what. And this one, hard time defending that. No, I'm not.
Weird that there's vague pedophilia allegations about a super famous billionaire named with initialed MJ.
Yeah.
But it happened twice. I don't know. That's why I said like just like I'm more like weird. I'm more doubting because I've never seen anything like this before. Just there's no like it's a category error in my brain. So I'm just like, I don't understand like why this happened. Like with Michael Jackson, it's like, yeah, that's obviously wrong in every possible scenario that you could possibly imagine. This is just weird. I've never seen it before. Kobe says XQC was onto something when he said there's so much elite pedophilia is because there's nothing to do late game. Honestly, I can buy that. I can totally buy that. It does actually make a lot of sense with say the Michael Jordans, Michael Jacksons. I'd probably argue that it's probably more sort of a cycle of abuse kind of stuff because especially in sports, we don't talk about it nearly enough how much victimization happens, especially among elite athletes. But yeah, who fucking knows? Who knows why these weirdos do their weirdo shit? It is utterly insane, but we have to suffer through it.
Yeah, we do. All right, so see a comment here from my rash itches really bad saying, when are you guys going to talk about AOC claiming Venezuela is south of the equator? When was the last time a politician said something that dumb? I didn't know that comment, but I mean, John, if you took if you rounded up like 100 random Americans and asked them to point where Venezuela was on a map, how many of them do you think would get it? Like, I don't know. It's like, this is whenever I see shit like this, and I do this for all politicians. Like, if Mark were here, I'd remind him that I'm fair about this. That, this person didn't know something. And this is like an obvious fact any fourth grader would know, and it's not. I was like, okay, they made a mistake. I remember years ago, I saw this headline that said Donald Trump like references African country, a non-existent African country in his speech. Like he made up an African country during his speech. I think I've mentioned it on the show. And what he said was, he said in the country of Zambia is doing X, Y, and Z. Now the name of the country is Nambia, not Zambia. He said it incorrectly. It's like, okay, that's none of you guys know anything about Nambia and Zambia either. Hell, you don't even know if I mixed those up. You don't know if I said those backwards. You don't fucking know. So I was like, oh yeah, Trump just made a mistake. I'm not going to. He certainly didn't create a brand new place out of nowhere and reference it in the speech. I'm not going to dogpile him for that. But people, I don't know, they love going for these stupid ass little cheap shots to gain points. I don't know if it works. I guess it does work with people, but it doesn't work with me.
The flip, the same side of that coin, but on a different subject, something that has been like a pet peeve of mine this week is Jake Paul's girlfriend who's in the Olympics.
Mhm.
And people get mad when you refer to her as Jake Paul's girlfriend, and they're like, she is an Olympic gold medalist. How dare you refer to her as Jake Paul's girlfriend? I'm like, bro, you did not know who the fuck she
No.
was 2 weeks ago. Do not sit here and try to make me believe that the gold medalist in, I don't know what it was, women's 200-meter dash speed skating is a household name that we should all know. She's Jake Paul's girlfriend. The only reason that like you know who she is because of that. If I was a figure skating enthusiast and I referred to her that way, yeah, sure, that would make sense. That'd be a great criticism, but I'm not. We know her that way, just like we know Venezuela is down there. I would
It's
have guessed
somewhere,
it's
yeah.
above the equator. I would have guessed it's above the equator, but when I first saw this news cycle, I looked at the map. I was like, wow, that's actually way closer to the equator than I thought it was. It's like, if it's in simple mistake territory, it's a shit gaff to be making fun of. Like if it's funny, sure, but it's not even funny. It's just she said north instead of south. It's like almost touching the fucking equator, guys. And second, is this like fucking 2007 right now? Like, are we shitting me? When was the last time I heard a politician say something that dumb? Every day for the past several years of my life, I have heard a politician say something dumber than that Venezuela is south of the equator. Every fucking day. I could name many examples off the top of my head from a variety, but when Donald Trump's your guy, you don't get to make fun of AOC for minor gaffes like this. You just don't. It just doesn't make sense. Like we can sit here and say they both suck, in which case I'd say, well, clearly one does this way more. But like, you can't sit here and defend Donald Trump, probably the least articulate, most often wrong president in our history, just on basic facts like airplanes not existing during the American Revolution, or the fact that windmills don't cause cancer, or really anything about windmills. He used fucking Chat GPT to set blanket tariffs on the entire world. I don't. He still thinks that the fucking exporting country pays tariffs. That's something that is both wrong and directly tied to the work that he is doing on behalf of us Americans. AOC mistakenly thinking that Venezuela is north of the equator. Like, oh my God, if Donald Trump had said that, I wouldn't even know about it.
No.
It would have been clipped. It wouldn't have been talked about by anyone. It would have just been washed away with all of the other crazy shit he says. So again, I'm not saying that you can't support a politician who says crazy dumb shit. Some people say crazy dumb shit and they're still good at their jobs. But you can't have Donald Trump as your fucking champion and pretend you actually give a shit about this gap from AOC. It's barely even a gap. It is a
irrelevant. Yes, irrelevant.
Speaking or maybe misremembering of Venezuela is 500 miles north instead of south of the equator, or not even 500 miles. It's ridiculous.
I didn't hear the quote. I didn't know what she referenced at all.
I don't know. I didn't watch it either. I saw she said that, and I was like, "That's dumb. That's really
hell." Maybe
here, guys.
Maybe it wasn't even a mistake. Maybe she thought Venezuela was south of the equator. Hardly. I don't know. I've made mistakes like that before. I made a video talking about Korea, and I said that it was northwest of Japan. It's just west. It's not northwest. I was like, oh, that was a mistake. But it happens. But once again, it's inconsequential. Like nothing. There's no policy that hinges on Venezuela being south of the equator. But I do like when people confidently state something blatantly wrong. What you said about Trump reminded me is that so. There's a little book out there called Moby Dick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but in the book, Ishmael, who's the narrator, he says, look, I'm just a regular guy out here. I took up this job and as a whaler and stuff. I don't know much about whales, but I only know one thing. I know one thing for sure. Whales are fish. And I love that. It's so funny. Every time I see that, I thought it was pretty funny, but Donald Trump did this with magnets. Do you remember this, John? He says, I don't know a lot about magnets, but I know one thing. You drop a magnet in the water, it stops working. No more magnets. I said, what is he talking about? What? I genuinely don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But he said it multiple times. You take a magnet, drop it in the water, magnet stops working. I was like, Who's telling him this information? Like, what is happening here?
I haven't heard that one. That's hilarious.
You haven't heard that one? Oh, I gotta
Multiple
find it
times?
multiple times because he was talking about Chinese technology. It's in another speech he gave with electric batteries, and he asked if you have a boat that's powered with an electric battery and the boat sinks, does it electrocute all the fish or something like going on weird tangents with his questions and everything like that. But I don't know. That's oh, so my rash itches says, rest assured, my question wasn't jest. Didn't know that, but I appreciate
Honestly,
that.
my rash itches. Great jest there, because you sounded exactly like people that comment on my fucking posts every goddamn day. I thought you were a specific person. That is how well you just imitated them. So hats off to you, my rash itches.
That was good. That was good. All right, John, I wanted to get to this real quick. That was the title of the episode here. Had you heard? Wait a minute. Tree Stop says whales are fish is more excusable. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I
Yeah.
it's,
Especially whenever Moby Dick was written. Like, I don't know exactly when that was, but it was a long time ago. I can understand thinking of whales.
the mistake.
Why the fuck wouldn't it be?
What? Yeah, and like, I mean, what does fish mean, right? As like, because I don't know. It's if you read the story of Jonah in the Bible, we always know it as Jonah the whale, but the Bible says Jonah in the great fish. It doesn't say
Yeah.
whale. You don't know what kind of fish it was in the story. Just a big fish. But oh shit, what was I gonna say here? Whales is. Oh yeah. I don't like. There's certain things about reality and nature, John, that I just don't like. I know they're true, but I don't like them. And I saw this video a long time ago about someone talking about satellites. And if you guys want to, satellites don't have like thrusters or anything or propellers. But they stay in the air. How? Well, the answer is that they're in orbit. And what orbit means is that the satellite is falling toward the Earth. It's falling. That's what orbit is. It's just falling, but it's falling at the right speed and at the right angle so that it never hits the ground. So that it falls in a circle over and over again. I don't like that. I don't like it. Doesn't seem like it should be real. It doesn't seem to be like something that should happen. Whales and dolphins being mammals, I don't like that either. I don't like it. Like you guys, I get it. You have mammary glands, you have lungs, but you should be, if we're separating folks, you guys sit at the fish part of the table, not with the mammal part. You know what I'm saying, John?
Just since we're talking about whales and dolphins, like I get what you're saying. Like, I have no strong opinion on on whether or not they should be called fish or mammals, or how much it upsets me. But I do have a strong opinion on that they are sentient creatures with near equal value to human beings. And it honestly shocks me that anyone can kill or abuse a whale or a dolphin any more than they would a human, because they are so obviously sentient. It absolutely blows my mind that we don't have like bills of rights for these creatures. Elephants too. Like, just, it's insane. I know, this is like a very 2003 Green Party fucking take, but it's true. It is very true. That's my strongest take on whales and dolphins, that they should be having near equal rights to humans.
Really? I don't know what that would look like though. I mean, like protections, right? Like if you kill a dolphin, you get 80 years in jail or something.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if like 80 years, but like you should get years in you should get 10 years in jail for killing it. You're taking a sentient life. I don't understand why it should matter whether it's a human sentient life or a dolphin sentient life. That thing is as well developed as we have been in recorded human history. So if it was illegal to kill a human back when we were in the fucking like ancient Egypt era, probably the same with dolphins. And like, they have language, they have culture, they have names for each other. Like, it's insane that we don't treat them with more respect that they deserve. One of my again, a pet peeve of mine. It's not a goal that I think has like political will to like get achieved, but you seem to be disagreeing.
I don't know, John. I don't know. I don't know. It's that. So listen, before I start dunking on whales, okay, Treestop said when you get close up on a seal, it makes sense that it's a mammal. I promise. All right, so I didn't mention seals. I did not mention seal. I don't think seals and fish. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, no, they're very different. They're very different. Like, there's a distinct difference between a seal and a whale and a dolphin.
Yeah.
Look like fish.
Yeah.
Seals
No,
at least look like a cross between a mammal and a fish, you know?
yeah. But anyway, I know dolphins and whales and fish. But anyway,
Great
yeah,
episode. Great
yeah,
episode.
I
Love
know,
you.
right? So listen, with the whales and the sentience and everything, I will be first on record saying that I think that chimps, elephants, dolphins, whales, they're right up there as far as species go. They are incredibly intelligent creatures, and I don't think that you should eat them or kill them for sport or hunt them or anything like that. I guess morally it should apply to all animals, but you know how we are on that. But I can't put them in human class just yet. I can't. I don't.
I'm fine with putting humans a step above.
Okay,
people,
all right.
They're
Okay,
closer to humans, I think, than they are to dogs. Like,
okay.
like,
I agree.
like
I agree.
if you were to like say like on a scale, you have ants, whatever, like meaningless microbes of life, to all the way up to humans. Dogs are probably somewhere in the middle there, and then like dolphins are really fucking close to us, and then there's us.
Because and my reason for this is that I am a human supremacist, right? I think that human life is, for lack of a better word, sacred, and I value it regardless of any of the qualities of that human being. I can't say the same thing for chimps, which is the closest thing to humans there are. Because think of it this way. Think about the smartest chimp that has ever existed. The chimp that's got locked in, got it all figured out and everything. Is it possible? In fact, what is it likely that the smartest chimp that's ever existed is smarter than the dumbest human who's ever existed? Easily.
I mean, we have like humans that cannot think. Like
yes, yeah,
mentally handicapped to the point where they are vegetables.
Absolutely.
And TJ saying he would take the human over the chimp, which I would bite the bullet and say I probably would too, but it might be a vegan situation where
John,
I'm going to do it even though I think it's wrong.
John, virtue signal all you want. You're picking the human 10 out of 10 times. I don't give a fuck how conflicted you are about it. You are picking the human, and that's what I'm saying. That, sure, I'm going to grant that, these are incredibly intelligent creatures, this beautiful representative of God's creation. I got it, but I'm still going with the humans every time. The humans are winning this thing. So, all right. That's another conversation. If humans died out, like, which species do you think would? We did this once, didn't we? Didn't we do this?
Species takes over.
I think we did this once. Yeah,
it probably is chimps. Like they probably.
I'm rooting for them.
Makes the most sense. I'm rooting for elephants. Are like they're just too big. They can't populate the earth fast enough. I think like octopus is the like dark horse that I always put out there. Like they are also that intelligent depending on the species of octopus, and there's shit living under the sea that we've never seen before. There could be a hyper intelligent race living below where we can find them, and they just don't pop up because they know that they just don't want this smoke. It's going to end badly for everyone if we ever find them, so they just don't. That is a conspiracy theory I have no evidence for, but it's entirely plausible. I think that is more plausible than we will ever be contacted by like outer space aliens.
Taking those in order, the first with the octopus. Yes, octopus are incredible. Octopus, awesome. Like if we didn't know they originated on Earth and someone told me they came from space, I'd be like, oh yeah, I buy it. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Octopus, kiwi, and not the bird, but the fruit. And pomegranates. Those look like alien life forms. Like those don't look like those actually belong here. But the problem with octopus is that they don't live long enough. Octopus, the
ones that we know of don't.
The super octopus, they live 80 years.
Well, we every once in a while we find a new octopus that was just living beneath where we could find them before. And they just happen to pop up, and it's like, oh, we've never seen this before. Like this happens every couple years. You cannot convince me that it's impossible or even like statistically impossible that there is some sort of sentient life living beneath our ability to see them that we would consider aliens if they like crash landed into Earth. I
don't know. I wouldn't bet on that. And the only reason
that it's likely, I'm saying it's more likely if we are to be contacted by extraterrestrial, I guess isn't the word, but alien life. It's more likely to come from under the sea than it is from outer space. And the main reason for that is the speed of light being a hard fucking limit on the universe that they would have to surpass in order to contact us. And the off chance that it can be surpassed versus the off chance they're hiding down there, I don't know. I'm going to take the hiding down there over the.
Maybe, maybe.
They were able to break the speed of light.
I don't know. I think about that because like deep sea life, like the really weird, crazy shit that you find in the deep ocean, it's kind of limited in the fact that there's no sunlight down there, which is a big deal. That's a big fucking deal that you can't have access to the greatest energy source in the solar system. You can still get energy from Earth's. Or from Earth's crust because of there's like heat vents and stuff down there. Things are alive, but they're like worms and shit. I don't know. You know, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? Hold on,
We brought in such a tangent. Wait, this all started because you brought up a random quote from Moby Dick. That is how this train of thought started, PJ. This wasn't even a comment or
no, this is I know. Okay, and so Colby Russell's, and where would you rank women, above or below chimps? Colby, are you trying to get banned from the show? Are you trying, our most loyal commenter? Where you want us to? What are you doing? What is happening? And Trees Top says the raccoons will overthrow us. They got thumbs and no fascisms. I love animals with thumbs. I love seeing an animal with a thumb. Those and raccoons are really cute. I really love it. But okay, so speaking of space travel, John, we were mentioning, have you heard that Elon Musk has scrapped his plan to get to Mars in the next 10 years? Have you heard about this?
Oh, did he finally scrap it?
Well, in the next 10 years, it's important that I added the last part. He still wants to go to Mars, but he's saying that, you know, the odds of getting there as quick as he wanted is not likely. Have you heard about that?
Oh, wow. No, I hadn't heard about it. I'm really surprised that it's not going to happen, TJ. I really believed him when he said that we'd be there in 10 years.
All right, so after 25 years of obsessing over Mars, Elon Musk announced that SpaceX has shifted focus from invading the red planet to invading the moon. He claims he will be able to build a self-sustainable lunar metropolis in less than a decade, a sharp contrast to his proposed Mars colony, which he said would now take at least 20 years. Both timelines are as fictional as Star Trek, but at least now his plan makes sense. It's a jarring plot twist in 2025 in January when Musk dismissed the moon as a distraction. Now he says the natural satellite is the overriding priority to secure civilization. Musk argues a lunar base is necessary because a natural or man-made catastrophe on Earth could cut off the supply lines a Mars colony would need to survive. So John and I are not fans of Elon Musk or his ridiculous predictions that he's had. The Mars one, like he predicted that there would be 1 million people on Mars by 2050. That was his. He predicted we'd already have a spaceship that landed on Mars and that we were supposed to have people landing on Mars in the next couple of years. Nothing has come close to this. He has barely broken out of low Earth orbit. And anyone who's like has a passing familiarity with astronomy knew how ridiculous his Mars base was going to be. Like it's taken him 15 years to find out that Mars is a lot farther away than the moon, is what it sounds like. That's basically what it's come down to, that he realized that it's absurd. The radiation alone would destroy your kidneys going from here to Mars, or round trip there and back. You'd have to live underground if you even got there. And just like he mentioned right there, the supply lines are a nightmare. If you wanted to go to Mars, you got to wait for Mars to get close enough for us to send someone there within a year. And then you got to wait a whole nother year for Mars to get close to send something back. It's insane. The plan was never going to work to begin with, but people have been writing this guy. And I don't know how often this can happen, John. I don't know how often he can make these predictions with robo-taxis, with trips to Mars, with these rockets that he's launching, with the Optimus robots, stuff that's never going to happen. Even something basic like full self-driving. I think it was 15 years ago when he said, yeah, we're going to have full self-driving. Like all the cars going to be running by themselves within 2 or 3 years, and it never happens, and people still invest money into them. I don't understand what kind of magic this guy is working with here.
So I'm starting to develop kind of a theory of understanding for Elon Musk, because I think the previous ones don't really hold water. Like before, we've said, oh, Elon's like really good at like making getting investment and understands how that game is played and all that. And to a certain extent, sure. But I highly doubt like the actual like people who know what they're doing in corporate America and hedge funds and stuff are like, yeah, Elon Musk, trustworthy guy. We want to give our money to him. It really seems like he's tapped into this market that exists, particularly in America, of people who have been able to generate a decent amount of wealth, enough to be able to invest, that really they've never been able to achieve with their intelligence level in human history. Like The economic opportunity in America allows people who are total idiots who think they're smart. The Dunning Kruger, peak dumbness part of the curve. That is the people that Elon Musk attracts. And those people have been able to secure more wealth than at any other point in history. And that is why you see so much money being put into crypto, into AI, slightly different because it has actual use cases. But like crypto is the big one here, where it's just like there's so many people willing to buy into this shit, and they have so much money that the smart money will invest into the shit, knowing the dumb money is going to follow. And I think Elon Musk has become the signal for the dumb money. Elon Musk is able to speak like in a way that attracts these dumb people by promising them, oh, we're going to be on Mars and all we need is XYZ. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but it makes them feel smart. So they give him their money, they give him their loyalty and their eyeballs. And that is what allows him to parlay their attention into actual investment from larger donors, that investors. I think that is the best way to explain Elon Musk and his appeal, at least at this point in the year 2026, because it's not even like he picks winning horses anymore. He seems to be an entity unto himself, and I think it's because he speaks with the perfect level of intelligence to attract the highest point on the Dunning-Kruger effect. And those people have more money than they ever have before. I think that explains Elon Musk perfectly.
I guess, I guess, and their money's got to go somewhere, right? They got to do something with it. They're
not gonna invest it wisely. They're not. Yeah. They're not gonna. What are they gonna spend it on their kids? No, fuck that. They want to put it in a moonshot that's gonna make them billionaires.
Yeah, it's you know how the people are kind of stagnant financially and everything like that. Everyone's looking for a way to make it big, or not make it big, at least become financially comfortable, have some sort of stream of income that's going to improve your life. And a lot of people do side hustles, a lot of people do content creation, a lot of people have like hobbies they try to do. One of the fastest growing ones, which is like something that John and I oppose a lot, is gambling. Gambling is huge. I can't believe how many people I know, I find out, that are deep into this gambling stuff. I'm so glad that I have no like natural addiction to gambling, I guess. Because a lot of people do. To me, it just doesn't seem interesting. It's like, oh, okay, maybe it'll be fun once or twice, but I couldn't imagine being stuck on this, permanently for my life or whatever. But it doesn't go away just because you're rich. Like, just because you're rich, you still want, rich people want more money. They're no different than anyone else. And so, yeah, gambling is going to be an easy way to do it. And why not gamble on something big? We all kind of grew up thinking technology would keep getting better and better. And of course it's going to get better. And so Elon promises you all this shit. It doesn't go anywhere. The shift that he has with, his vehicles, that Tesla stopped making two of their models. I think it was the Model S and the Model 3, I think, or Model X and Model 3, I can't remember. But he said that they're going to shift focus in their factories from making vehicles into making Optimus robots. I don't think we've talked about this, John, about how I cannot believe anyone thinks this is a good idea. I really can't. Like, out of all of Elon Musk's obvious scams, him saying that, yeah, we're going to have a human-sized, like humanoid-looking robot in everyone's house. Everyone's going to have this robot because people are going to love to wake up in the middle of the night and see this human silhouette standing in front of their door, or hanging out in their kitchen, or taking the risk that this 500-pound robot's going to fall on their toddler, or, and also, like, this thing's gonna have cameras and stuff. We're gonna have Tesla recording all of your activities all through. It is and by the way, humanoid robots are just impractical. There's no reason that a robot that's going to be vacuuming or doing dishes or washing cars needs to look like a human. Like, that just limits what it can do. It's a concept from someone who has the mind of a 6-year-old and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had It's like the movie Terminator. The movie Terminator, I joked about this a long time ago, that would never happen. If the robots actually took over and they were trying to kill someone, yeah, they wouldn't build a human-sized robot to do a murder. It would be like if you tried to get rid of rats in your house, that instead of setting traps, you just send like a robot rat around a kid. It's insane. It's a ridiculous...
It's a robot cat.
Yes, it's a ridiculous idea, but it's something like, it's cartoonish, it's something Elon Musk would go for. But yeah, I just I want to see how long. I've changed my mind. I'm rooting for Elon now. I want to see how far he can go with this. Like how far he can go. Oh, John, oh, Mark commented, "Hey kids, John, look at your hair, so amazing. Are we answering questions today? Yes, we are. Just gonna talk about Elon's a terrible businessman. We on that? Mark, if you're still listening, I have a question for you. John, I don't know if you remember this, but months and months ago, we asked Mark about Elon Musk's prediction of having 1 million people on Mars by 2050 and how confident he was that that was going to happen. With this new update, John or Mark, are you still confident? Because Mark said 50%. He said there was a 50% chance it would happen. I guess 5 years. There's no way. Wait a minute. 1 million people in 5 years? He must tell me something else. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way that would. But
even by Elon Musk standards, that's a bit. It's a bit ambitious.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how far Elon can go with this. I've changed my tune. I'm rooting for Elon now because these are the second best people to steal money from. This is why I don't say I was always happy about Donald Trump stealing money from gullible racists because they're the best group of people to steal money from. But Elon Musk spending stealing this money from the richest people on earth. Go for it, man. Why not?
He said land on Mars in 5 years, which I think we're past the point.
We've landed on Mars already. That couldn't have been it. We've definitely landed on Mars.
Think
I would have never
on Mars, like
humans on Mars.
On
okay, yeah. Either way, yeah.
Them,
not happening either. Not happening in 5 years either. Yeah.
And yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Elon, if Elon just like kept like the race baiting and like political shit aside, and he just wanted to like do this fucking, like, he's going to spend his billionaire money on like space missions and shit. Honestly, as far as billionaires spending money on pointless shit goes, one of the better ones. One of the better projects. You want to make your pet project for your billions to go and colonize Mars. That's going to employ a hell of a lot of people. It's going to lead to a lot of scientific research that probably isn't going to land you on Mars in 5 years, but it's probably going to do a lot of good ancillary effects on the human race, right? That if you're going to be a billionaire and you're not going to be ethical about it, you might as well do a pet project that's going to boost your ego in a positive way. We spent the whole fucking beginning of the show talking about that, right? That's fine with me. It's the other shit that Elon does that makes me not root for him. But if Elon can get a man on Mars, I wish him Godspeed. Put Twitter down and get that man on Mars, Elon.
All right, and to Mark's comment, like if that's what the conversation was about, getting a man on Mars in 5 years, Mark, I'll give you 20 years. I'll give you 20. Listen, like getting someone, if you got someone to land on Mars 5 years from now, they would have to leave 3.5 years from now. Basically, I mean that's how insane this is. So anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to go to Colby here because he brings up a great point. He's too annoying to become a pedophile. This is all he has left. And like, this is a good point. This is something that I've been particularly thinking about with Elon Musk. Why are people still treating him like normal? He is in the Epstein files, talking to Jeffrey Epstein on so many occasions. Why has he not been like just totally renounced from all of society? Like, I understand, I get it, but like, he's past the point of no return in that respect, and it's shocking that like people are still giving him interviews, like, and not bringing up the fact that he's like just been conversing with a known pedophile and hanging out with him and trying to get on his island and getting rejected in hilarious fashion. Like, how are we still doing this thing where we're treating Elon Musk like a normal person who doesn't work? Again, I guess the question is, he was never deserving of respect, so whatever. But even by traditional metrics, he should be ostracized at this point, and he's not getting ostracized. I don't understand why.
I think it's because I don't know. I think I'm being too generous, but you don't have a smoking gun. Even if you did, they still wouldn't. I know. I think they still wouldn't, but. There's just so many people who are involved in this, and they're all kind of being treated the same, right? This is what bothers. I think you mentioned this, that we talk about, like, Republicans will say something like, yeah, you guys are gloating over Trump being in the Epstein files all this time or whatever, or trying to pretend Democrats care about the victims or whatever. But the Democrats never released the Epstein files either. They had him all this time and didn't. And the Democrats' response is, well, 90% of that time there was an active investigation going on. You couldn't release it. But I think you brought this up. I thought it was a good point that, yeah, okay, maybe you couldn't have released the files, but nothing stopped you from opening investigations of these people. nothing at all. Like if you saw like Lex Wexner in there, or you like unredacted images of these grown men with small children, there was nothing. Like you guys just didn't do anything about it. Why? That's a fair question. It's a fair, legitimate question right there. I just don't think people care as much as they say they did. This is what's been weird. With people have been talking about this Epstein stuff for years now. Now it's coming out. It's shown that yeah, you'll feign outrage or whatever, but no one's going in the streets. Nobody's even discarding their favorite people. I'm not as confident as you are that this is going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. And Mark asked a question: have we seen Rubio in Munich? Speech in Munich. Have you seen Rubio's speech in Munich, TJ?
No.
I have not. It is something that is now on my radar. Like I've heard Republicans glazing him for it, and so I'm going to watch it. But he says that he's looking like a serious contender for 2028, Gavin versus Rubio. Let me tell you something, Mark. I hope you're sitting down for this. Marco Rubio is not going to be the Republican nominee for president. And if he is, the Republicans have no shot of winning. See, Marco Rubio is not a contender. He doesn't have it. He just doesn't. This is the guy that he was supposed to give his rebuttal State of the Union speech, and he fucking flamed out in the most embarrassing fashion I've ever seen from a politician. Like, I just don't understand how anyone can look at him and go, that guy has what it takes to inspire hearts and minds and win their votes. It just, he's not that guy. JD Vance has far more charisma than Marco Rubio, and that's saying something.
Yeah, I didn't see Rubio's speech in Munich or any of that, but I do want to comment that you just pulled it up here, John. Oh, here we go. He's certainly looking like a serious contender in 2028, Gavin versus Rubio. Mark, this is not a shot at you or anyone else like this, but I'm just saying that any prediction of the person who's going to be running for president in 3 years is just kind of useless. Over the years, like I've seen this so many times. Like there was a time, back in the day, everyone fucking knew that Hillary Clinton was going to be the nominee. Everybody. It was just a given. Everyone knew that in 2016, Jeb Bush would be the nominee. Everyone knew it. Was like, this goes way back, but in 2000, what was it, 2008? Yeah, everyone knew that Rudy Giuliani would be the Republican nominee. I remember this happens all the time, and it's like, no, I'm sorry, the universe of politics changes so much within 6 months that you can't possibly predict. So, I mean,
the only time that was true was Donald Trump in 2024. The only time you ever could go for near certain was Donald Trump in 2024.
No, John, if you remember, there was a good chunk of time there, like a 6 to 10 month period, when everyone said it would be Ron DeSantis. On the show, I remember us talking about it.
I do remember that. That's true.
Yes, everyone
but
said
it was Ron DeSantis. It was not. No. Like, let's not be revisionist history. Ron DeSantis was the heir apparent more so, or he was the number one contender to Donald Trump. No one was sitting there, maybe the direct aftermath of Trump's defeat, and not having Donald Trump as the guy to beat in the Republican Party still.
Listen, this is not what I remember, because I spoke about this so much that when Trump got indicted, everyone's like, it's over. It's over. He's never going to win this. Like DeSantis is rising up there.
People who said that.
It was everywhere, and I was like You're banging. Right. Yeah, it's like, listen, no, like Donald Trump, as long as he draws breath, he's going to win this. So yeah, people love like appointing someone beforehand, years and years in advance, and it fizzles out. It doesn't go anywhere. And we talked about before that you just don't see people. Right now, Trump, 3 times in a row. At least I would have thought it was a lock that he was going to be the nominee. But outside of incumbents or someone like Trump, it's just kind of so. Mark says, TJ, agreed, you were right, but Rubio is looking good. Vance is getting shrill. Once again, who knows? So who fucking knows? I would still put more money on Vance than Rubio, but who knows?
I don't know. Like it's who knows. I would say that I would put more money on Gavin out of all of them. And that's still a stretch. Like you're not putting any significant odds on that. But I do really like the idea of Mark's Wall Street Journal Republican picturing a Gavin Newsom versus Mark Rubio 2028 presidential election. That makes so much sense to me. Like that like framework of politics and seeing the world that Mark has, those would be the two candidates. Those would be by far and away the two most like we were sitting here in 2008, 2012, those would be the two candidates. Like those would be so obviously the types of people that the Democrats would choose and the Republicans would choose. In 2028, I just don't. That's not where politics is right now. For neither party, I don't. In fact, the Democrats are more likely to have a Gavin Newsom type, but I also think they're going to go widely different than what they have in the past in 2028. And the Republicans, I just can't imagine them go, you know what we need now, directly after the Trump presidency? We want to take a step back towards normalcy. Like, I don't see that happening.
That's weird. So, I don't know. I don't know, because I think that your average Republican voter probably wouldn't be wildly opposed to a step back. So I really don't think they would be. I think that the people that push Trump over the hump are going to be people who aren't your standard Republicans anyway. I don't know how interested they're going to be after Trump, Like when 2028 hits and they're at the primaries, he's not like...
You're right. You're right. You're making a very good case.
Yeah, like Marco Rubio or Nikki Haley or even JD Vance is not going to make their dicks hard talking about, wild shit. So they're not going to appeal to them, and you might have a more standard voter. I would not be blown away if they had a boring ass politician, not because that's what, the movement is pushing toward, but that's going to be the available voting populace. I don't think you're going to have your crazy idiot Trump supporter who is pushing this forward. Democrats, though, that one's even more interesting, because I happen to think that the Democrats are going to pick the whitest, straightest guy they can find. They're like, okay, we've had 3 elections in a row where we tried something different, and it's burned us. Or not 3 in a row, but 2 out of 3 times.
With something different.
Yeah. 2 out of 3 times we lost with something different. So let's dial it back here and see if we can course correct. I don't know if they'll consciously do that, but I think a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to be a little more careful with my vote. So it's up in the air. That's why I think it is kind of ridiculous to make predictions this far out, because political climate is going to change rapidly in 9 months after the midterms, right? We'll have a brand new universe to deal with. So looking at it now is a little bit premature, I think.
I agree with that. Mark does bring. Mark says Nikki will run.
She will. She should.
I just have to say, like, I agree with that. She should. I feel very similar to her the way I do about Kamala, where it's like, okay, yeah, like you should run. The stars are aligned for you. So where the fuck have you been? Like, where is Nikki Haley been?
I think. No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I haven't heard Nikki Haley's name in any context other than talking about the 2024 campaign.
If I were Nikki Haley, I'd be doing the same thing. I would be doing the exact same thing as Nikki Haley, because
just hiding.
Yes, I would be hiding. You wouldn't hear a word out of me if I was Nikki Haley, because she knows that this train is crashing soon enough. She knows, or she knows.
Crash, swoop in the savior. Don't get in the mud beforehand.
Exactly, or she knows that it's going to collapse or Trump's going to die. One or the other. Eventually, that's going to happen, and so she has 2 options here. She can, as an outsider, she can join Trump after all this time, which is going to make her look hypocritical, but hasn't stopped anyone else. But anyway, then she'll be just like everybody else, right? There's nothing unique about her outside of the fact of being a Indian female. That's already going to count. She's got enough outsider points already on that. Or she can just go, balls to the wall that I am the anti-Trump person, which is political suicide. So given that neither of those options are palatable or useful for your political future, I would do exactly what she's doing and hiding out, and then coming in, it's like, hey, I had nothing to do with any of that nonsense. Go ahead and put me up.
You are 1,000,000% right. Mark says you're dropping truth bombs. TJ, that was the quickest 180 you ever made me do.
Haley?
Correct. I was so wrong. Nikki's doing exactly what she should do.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Before we close out here, Mark had another comment here. TJ, they nominate Nate Bargatze. Is that how you say it? I never know how to get his name right. I don't know how to get his pronounce.
Who that is.
He's a comedian. It's too bad you know who he is, because the other day, Heather and I were looking for something to watch, and she saw some commercial for Bill Maher's show, and she said, let's check that out. We haven't seen Bill Maher in a long time, so let's watch. So there was a show where he was interviewing Nate Bargatze, and he's a funny comedian. I've seen him do a lot of bits that are really entertaining, and so I was like, all right, Bill Maher, he's just a funny dude, you know, a lot of times, and he, or at least he has interesting insights, whether you agree with him or not. I try not to put qualifiers on that. I hate when people do that. Whenever you're talking, it's like, well, I don't always agree with this person. Like, yeah, no shit. But anyway, but Nate Bargatze was doing the interview, and John, it was bored to tears. I was so bored. I was watching Bill Maher, and it's funny because I identify with Bill Maher here. It's like we've had it happen to us where we invite someone on the show who's a really great social media creator. They're fun, or they're stand-up comedians, and they're really funny. And we get here, and it's like talking to a fish, man. And you're just throwing everything at it to make it entertaining. The other person's like, yeah, I agree, or yeah, okay. Just like one word answers, like, oh, I hate when that happens. And I was so shocked. I don't know why I keep getting shocked by this. Nate Bargatze is a boring guy, like on a one-on-one interview, even though he does great comedy. So yeah.
Yeah. Mark says, John, are you serious? I don't know. I don't know what he's referring to. I don't
Probably you don't know who the comedian is, maybe.
That might be true. Maybe I do. I'll look him up. But I'm not like a huge.
John doesn't like funny stuff.
It's okay. I recognize his face. Okay, yeah. It's not that I don't like funny stuff. I like fun. I don't. I used to be big into comedy, like in college, and it's just one of those things that have left my life in that I don't focus on it anymore, and it's sad. I hope to bring it back into my life one day, but
don't you do stand up sometimes? I thought I remember you saying
I
you
used
did
to stand up. I did stand up in college. I did improv in college. I did sketch comedy in college. I used to be big into comedy. I used to like studying it. But it's just it's an interest of mine that has had to fall by the wayside in favor of other interests and paying the bills. But yeah,
Hugh Jass wrote he did the Washington's Dream SNL sketch. That was one of the biggest things SNL's done in years. Yes, neighbor. I don't know if you ever saw it, John, but there's a sketch where he's dressed up as George Washington and the Valley Forge camp. Hilarious. It's really great. So yeah,
that is, okay. So that was him. Okay, yeah, that is one of the funnier.
It's so funny. It's so great. All right, it's about that time.
One last thing before we go. I
sure.
just want to say we need to talk. We couldn't do it last week because it came out on like Friday. But the Wall Street Journal article on Kristi Noem. Did you read that?
No, I haven't heard about this.
Oh my God, you haven't heard about this?
No.
TJ, read the Wall Street Journal article on Kristi Noem. I promise.
Oh no.
Worth every second of your life you spend reading it.
Oh boy.
Amazing. We will be talking about it on Thursday. That is our tease for you guys. Until then, thank you for being here for the Left Wing Q&A episode. See you guys on Thursday at 6:30 EST.
Later, folks.